Now, he came face to face with the Islamic State. In a new war documentary, French-Jewish philosopher Bernard-Henri Levy, known for his outspoken support of the Kurdish drive for independence and his influence on international politics, goes into the trenches with Iraqi forces fighting Islamic State in the city of Mosul, that city that's been fought over for the last 7 months. The film is called The Battle of Mosul, just screened in Israel at the Docaviv Documentary Film Festival. Culture Correspondent Maya Margit sat down with Levy to discuss the film and his experience on the ground with ISIS. Let's take a look.
A brutal, bloody war. For months, Iraqi forces, backed by the U.S.-led coalition, have struggled to wrest control of the city of Mosul in Iraq from the Islamic State. This long, painstaking campaign is the subject of the latest film by French philosopher and filmmaker Bernard-Henri Levy, titled Battle of Mosul. For the first time, Levy's film is screening in Israel, right here at the Tel Aviv Cinematheque for this year's Docaviv Film Festival. Both screenings are completely sold out. The film starts in October 2016, right at the beginning of the battle to liberate Mosul.
When the Battle of Mosul, for Mosul was launched, it was an evidence for us. We had to be there. We had to be embedded or to escort or to accompany the liberators of the city.
Accompanying the Kurdish Peshmerga and elite Iraqi special forces, Levy and his team traveled through the battle-scarred towns and villages IS had destroyed on their way to the city itself. On several occasions, they came face-to-face with the radical jihadist group and death.
I was scared for the life of my team. I was scared for myself. I was scared for the civilians around me. I was scared for the soldiers, of course.
Despite the bullets and explosions, it is the scenes with the Iraqi people that are the most touching. Like this one, a Kurdish fighter who had not seen nor heard from his mother in years discovers she is on a refugee convoy heading towards him. An emotional, tearful reunion. In another scene, a Kurdish unit hoists a cross atop a ruined church in a Christian town. But for Levy, it was what followed the liberation of parts of Mosul that would haunt him forever.
The souvenir which haunts me, which is like a ghost since then, is this scene where you see the population of Mosul running after a lorry with some poor goods, and the guys in the lorry send packaged like to dogs.
Mosul is Levy's fourth war documentary, and this screening in Israel has particular significance for him. Levy says he sees many parallels between the Kurds and the Jewish people.
And I perceived a sense of attention and a quality of emotion in this Israeli audience, which maybe I did not find otherwhere, and which is probably linked to this feeling of a shared destiny between the Israelis and the Kurds.
Recognition of the Kurdish people, their role in the fight against IS, and their struggle for an independent state are perhaps the movie's most prominent themes.
They seek and deserve independence. This independence was promised to them since exactly 1 century. They paid a heavy price. They are paying now, at this very minute, a heavy price for the common fight of civilization against barbarity. They deserve that, yes, at the end.
With me in studio, Maya Margit, I-24 News culture correspondent. We've been covering the war over Mosul for nearly 7 months, and essentially Bernard-Henri Levy, a phenomenal journalist, author, whatnot, did what many correspondents have been doing there now, right?
Yeah, it was a little bit different because he went with a camera crew, 3 different cameramen, and one of whom was injured from a previous war documentary that he did. So it's a little bit of a difference.
But still joined him again. Important to note.
If you notice, he's wearing a suit and his, signature white shirt the whole movie, even in the trenches, in the tunnels, everywhere.
I have to tell you, that's the thing that terrified me. It's almost like walking around with a target. Okay.
It's pretty strange, but he said that the reason he did that is because he was not a fighter there. He was not a journalist on the ground. He wanted to differentiate himself.
Himself from the flak jacket of people. Okay.
Exactly. So I think it's kind of a risky situation because the whole movie you hear gunshots, you hear explosions. So they were in definitely a very dangerous situation there on the ground in Mosul.
No, very